Joining me now is Mohammed Shafiq, who's the Chief Executive of the Ramadan Foundation. Mohammed, pleasure as ever to talk to you.
Good evening, good to be on.
Good evening. What do you make of nonsense like this when you hear it?
Well, obviously it's disappointing because once again we will have people who will start labelling Muslims. Can I say from the outset, these people are on the margins of our community. They do not represent the vast majority of British Muslims. We're very happy to live in this country, except that this is a predominantly Christian country. We have British law here, we taxpayers here, and we take passion in our identity as British citizens.
You needn't worry with me, Mohammed. I will make that absolutely clear at every available opportunity.
Which you kindly have. And certainly, I think the vast majority of Muslims I speak to find Anjem Choudhury and his cronies absolutely abhorrent. But obviously, this will once again stoke hatred towards the vast majority of Muslims in a very negative way. And I hope that the police reflect on that when they make their decision whether they should go ahead with a demonstration.
Well, I mean, I think that if we allowed them to do this under the radar, it could stoke racial hatred. But I think actually, Mohammed, by talking about it and making it clear that these people do not speak for the vast majority of Muslims is the best way of defeating this man. Do you not agree?
Absolutely, yes. And I've debated with Mr. Anjem Choudhury on many occasions. He doesn't have a coherent strategy.
No.
And if things are so bad in this country, and if he hates this country so much, then I'm sure he can go to a country where where he will be welcome. And actually, there is no country in the world that would welcome his likes, because they're obviously people who want to stoke division and hatred between communities, and it's a sad indictment of him and his philosophy and his cronies.
Unfortunately, he's British, so we're stuck with him. And the last time I tried to have a sensible conversation with the man, he defamed me and said that I was
joined the club there.
Yeah, I know. He says it to everybody. I know it's pathetic. Once he gets backed into a corner, he comes out shouting names. It's rather like a child. But
we start banning people because we don't like their views, no matter how abhorrent they are. I think their demonstration should go ahead, because they actually 5,000. He'd be lucky to get 100 if he's lucky.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if there is any kind of turnout at all. The thing that I think I find the most despicable about this man is the hypocrisy that he preaches. He's talking about how anybody who is found drunk should be stoned in the street. And we've seen photographic evidence of Choudhury himself as a student in a university drinking alcohol and not looking terribly sober.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's the thing. I think we've got to be very clear about the fact that this person, is not going to, damage the community cohesion we have in this country, the respect and the tolerance values that we have in this country. And I'm pretty certain that the vast majority of the British people recognise and accept that tolerance and diversity.
So your message today is just to view this as for what it is, just the ramblings of a madman? Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a lunatic. He doesn't represent the vast majority of people in this country, and certainly he's got to be treated as such, as an irrelevance. But we still have to listen to him, though. Sadly, we do, yeah. But I think we've got to hold fast onto that, traditional British value of freedom of speech, and no matter how important his views may be, we've got to hold fast to that value. No matter how people try to demonise and attack this country, we know what life is like in this country, and I've travelled around the world and I've seen other countries, and I wouldn't live anywhere else. Mohammed, thank you very much indeed for joining us this evening. It's been a pleasure as ever. Mohammed Shafiq there, Chief Executive of the Ramadan Foundation.